Now, here's a quick one about a gal who truly gets the A-hole Mother of the Year award after she had 3 kids, up and abandons them to go travel the world because she wanted to get it out of her system, and now is having a meltdown complaining that her former husband and father of those kids won't let her see the kids. Gee, I wonder why. Titled, OP leaves her kids and are raised by a wolf pack. Says here, and this is written by her, with her complaining, she says, I, a 28-year-old female, have 3 kids with my ex. We were never married, but we dated while I was in college. My senior year, I got pregnant and had 2 twin boys. He moved me in with him, and we were raising our kids together. 14 months later, after giving birth to the boys, I had a girl. You'd think after the first time she would have gotten her senses together and I had another one. Immediately after, I had a postpartum depression, assigning blame, and I wasn't doing well. I decided to go back home to my parents and to clear my mind. So she's ditching the kids. They're all like under 2 years old. Once home, I saw my old bedroom, my old things, and was kind of reminded of what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to take a gap year to travel, but I had gotten a scholarship to my first choice school, and it seemed silly to pass it up. I decided then this is what I need to do to get to the right mental state. I called BD and told him I'm going to Europe for a couple of months. He was incensed and tried to talk me out of it. I explained this is what I need to do to get back to being myself and be a better parent and partner. Hold on here. You're like 23, maybe 24. You have 3 children under the age of 2, under the age of 1.5 or something, and you were going to up and abandon them and their father to go gallivant around Europe to make yourself feel better? No. You've got responsibilities, not only financially to help with those kids, but also to those young kids that need you or need a good mother. But this is an example here. And by the way, you're going to find out later on that her family comes from money. So she's spoiled, entitled, and doesn't give a shit about anybody but herself. She says, so I went. He called me the first couple months and kept asking if I was coming back. Eventually, he stopped calling. Shocker. About 6 months in, my parents told me that he had filed to get full custody of the kids. I was mad he didn't tell me before doing it, but I thought I'd at least take full advantage and really see the world and get out of my system. Yeah, I could tell she was really mad. She is just running from responsibility. I'm so mad, but you know what? I'll just keep going around the world. And by the way, who's paying for all this? Clearly, mommy and daddy's money. I traveled for a little over 2 years and visited every continent. When I was done, I really wanted to see my kids. Not a chance in hell, honey. But I felt guilty for not being present in their lives, and I didn't want to face my ex. One of the friends I made in my travels offered me a gig as an English teacher in private school in Thailand. I took the opportunity and spent the next 3 years doing that. So she's gone 2 years. I feel so guilty about not seeing my kids, but I want to face my ex. You mean a responsibility? So I'll go out for another 3 years. This year, I returned stateside and stayed with my parents. They showed me pictures of the kids and told me my ex lets them see them a couple times a year, or a couple times. I got in touch with him, telling him I was ready to be involved in their lives, and he flat out refused. Oh, well, how dare he? You've only been gone for 5 years and haven't contributed a dime financially to help him out, and your 3 kids don't know their mother that you just abandoned. And talk about a-hole parents. I don't hear anything about her parents tearing her a new one about this, right? I threatened to sue for custody. Good fucking luck with that one, honey. And he just replied, good luck with that, and sent my pictures of me partying in Europe. They're not flattering. Of course they're not flattering. We got a carousel rider here. My parents want to see their grandkids more, but they tell me it's all my fault for not being there to see them. Am I the a-hole for trying to see them? Lady, you are the a-hole in so many ways I can't begin to describe. You abandoned your kids after being born. They needed a mother. They needed her financially. You then went away, claimed you felt bad, but then stayed another 3 years. First there was a few months, then couple of years, then 3 years, and you come back, expect them to take you with open arms, and you're mad because you can't see the kids. They're not your kids. You gave them up the second you left. You are a selfish piece of dog shit, and you deserve far worse. I mean, I don't know why or how he's not suing her for money. If the situation was reversed, if she had kids and she stayed and he took off, and for 5 years she wasn't getting financial assistance, among other things, you can bet your ass the second he landed on American soil, they'd be on his ass. You know it. Now, after she addressed Reddit, it turns out that somebody that knows her knows the story of Reddit, and that person's commenting on the situation. It's very revealing here. This guy says, Reddit, it's my time to shine. I had to make a brand new account to not reveal anything personal. I know exactly who this gal is. I know the kids and the dad. Those kids were raised by a wolf pack. When this pathetic waste of oxygen abandoned her kids, basically anyone and everyone who had a passing relation to the dad stepped up. His mom moved in the first year to help with the babies. Neighbors, friends, and relatives all donated or bought gifts for the and stuff for the kids. Clothes, diapers, toys, anything he needed. One of his friends manages a restaurant, and he brought them unused food almost every night. I worked at a bank, so I had nothing useful to contribute other than money and time. One of our buddies runs an MMA gym, and he has a kids class that starts after school. So he took them in after school until their dad gets off work. Whenever the kids need a babysitter, 2 or 3 rowdy men show up ready to be horses or punching bags for the boys and tea party guests for the little girl. Man, talking about it takes a village to raise a child. That is awesome. This guy's getting so much support. And you're not hearing anything about her family. One of the other friends is a lawyer. He helped him gaining custody and advised him through the process. The OP's parents, the girl's parents, are rich, and they're always offering money to help. On the advice of our lawyer friend, he always refuses. That way they can't use that in any future custody battle. That had to be hard when he needed money, but yes, they would use that as leverage. He didn't even let them introduce themselves as their grandparents, so they can't claim a relationship. Their dad is doing well now. Those kids don't want for anything. Every Sunday night, he hosts us to watch football and hang out with the kids. His daughter delights in serving everyone wheat juice. They're so much better off without this witch. Good for them. Good for that dad for doing what he had to do. And it's interesting. It's always the guy that's labeled as the one that's the big jerk, abandoning the kids, not having responsibility. But newsflash, there are a lot, not that there aren't bad guys out there, but there are a lot of damn good men out there that are far, far better fathers than the mothers. And she is out there gallivanting around the world. He even had pictures of her, I guess she probably put on social media, of her partying and everything, which probably meant a whole lot of foreign European sausage she was sampling. And right then and there, it's like, go ahead, sue me for custody. Good fucking luck. But what a piece of garbage. So yes, good for this guy, and the hell with her. But I thought it'd be a very good one here to go over here. And it's amazing to me the level of entitlement she has. Actually upset and wondering why she can't see the kids. You've got to be kidding me.